Do you have a work spouse? It is so easy to fall for a colleague at work when your primary romantic relationship is strained. We should perhaps really look at this term work spouse and unpack it a little bit more. Your relationship or platonic friendship or colleagueship at work is not exposed to the real stresses of everyday life. It's not a real living committed relationship because it's merely a job and a work relationship. You have very dedicated time together, you have very dedicated projects to work together, and in a bubble where you do not have to deal with all the other frustrations and the other onslaughts of your time, which makes it, in a way, a very protected environment then to nurture the time together and to also experience the sense of achievement together. Now, a work relationship can be very positive, and it really can make the environment where you work pleasant, you can feel each other on, you can provide support. The red flags come in when there's no boundaries, when there's not boundaries in terms of the time you share and extend outside of the office hours, when there's no boundaries in communication, and also maybe where there is a definite red flag is where you have to hide these communications. If you can't tell someone about it, it most likely is a problem. Another red flag that you can look out for is when you start to blame others for your behavior, and it's often a way of projecting and denying your own guilt feelings or awareness that maybe something is in the wrong. So you might blame your spouse for being jealous, you might blame colleagues for being super sensitive or paranoid. But really stop and think, are you investing more attention and more commitment and more time in this relationship at work? I think it's very important to re-examine also then your private or personal and primary relationship. Are you paying enough attention to it? Now, we know that there's a difference between quality and quantity. Most of us are spending way more time at work. But what is the quality of the relationships in your private time? And to a partner, it might be very hurtful to hear that you talk about the work spouse. Talk about your colleague. You may have a platonic friendship, but be careful and, as I mentioned, always keep the boundaries in place and always make sure that you nurture where you need to nurture.